Hey guys, I'm the Highborn, and in this video I would like to talk to you about the talent tree or the skill tree of the Ranger. This is the 3rd of November, the second week of Alpha2 testing in Ashes of Creation. As far as I know, this is the same as it was released a bit ago. With that said, so this is the original iteration. With that said, let's get into it. The first thing we will notice in the bottom right is Weapon Mastery Bows. It reduces the cooldown of barrage and scatter shot by 3 seconds upon hitting an enemy with a weapon combo finisher. Then we have Barrage. It fires a continual barrage of arrows at your target for 1.5 seconds, dealing 15% of physical damage per arrow. It triggers ammo immune effects once per target. And each of these hits against the bleeding target, it reduces the cooldown of this ability by 0.1% and doubles this bonus against hemorrhaging targets. After that, we have Camouflage. I'm not going to read this out. It's like a stealth ability. It makes you stealth. Then we have Thorns. Envelopes a targeted ally with thorns, dealing damage equal to a third of the ranger's level, and has a 10% chance of applying bleeding effect to the attackers each time the attacker hits an ally, and can be maintained on one ally at a time and cannot be applied to a targets already affected by thorns. Then we have Strider. It increases the movement speed of the target by 10%, and finally we have Regeneration. It grants 10%, not 10%, just flat 10 regeneration rating per ranger level to the targeted ally. It can be maintained only on one ally at a time. And if the target already has this effect, it cannot stack. And yeah, if somebody already has it, it's a toggled ability. The first talent we can grab is Scatter Shot. It fires a spread of projectiles dealing 125% physical damage to every enemy target in the cone area in front of the caster. It also triggers ammo immune effects once per hit. To the right, we can upgrade it with Multi-Scattered Shot. Scatter Shot has an additional charge. And to the left, we can upgrade it by Concentrated Scatter Shot. Scatter Shot becomes a held ability, and after being fully charged, you, instead of firing a single projectile in a forward line that pierces through enemies, dealing 250% physical damage. The next ability is Disengage. Quickly strikes an enemy in front of you while backflipping in the opposite direction. The target hit by the strike takes 100% phys damage and acquires 1 stack of snared for 10 seconds. Targets that are weakened are knocked back. To the right, we can upgrade it with Omnidirectional Disengage. Disengage now moves you in the direction of your input instead of always backwards. To the left, we have Reinvigorating Disengage. When you hit an enemy or more enemies with Disengage, the cooldown is refreshed and can be used again. This can only occur once per cooldown period. After that, we have Headshot. Deals 200% physical damage to the targeted enemy. It also deals 25% more damage to the target if it's below 50% of their maximum HP, and applies 1 stack of Wounded for each 25% missing health to the target. Physical penetration increased by 25% against dazed targets. This bonus is doubled against silenced targets. What is Wounded? Wounded reduces healing received by 5% per stack up to 50%. Then we have a Refreshing Headshot. Headshot refunds 4% of its cooldown when it hits a marked target. To the left, we have Mortal Headshot. Headshot deals another 50% damage to targets below 50% of their max HP. Then we have Imbu Arrow Weighted. It is a toggled ability, and it imbues your ammunition with weight. Enemies hit by your basic attack finishers, Barrage or Scatter Shot, becomes snared. We also have Hunt of the Tiger. This is a toggled ability. Calls forth the spirit of a tiger, imbuing yourself with 10% increased critical damage. Only one hunt may be active at a time. And we also have Hunt of the Bear. It is also a toggled ability. Calls forth the spirit of a bear, imbuing yourself with increased physical mitigation. One hunt may be active at a time. After that, we have Imbue Ammo Barbed. It is also a toggled ability. It imbues your ammunition with barbed thorns. Enemies hit by basic attack finishers, barrage, or scatter shot become bleeding. We also have Hunt of the Raven. It is a toggled ability. Calls forth a spirit of a raven, and it imbues yourself with physical penetration. And as always, one hunt may be active at a time. And we also have Mark of the Tiger. It marks a or the target, increasing the critical chance versus the target by 25%. We also have Expeditious Barrage. It reduces the barrage's movement speed penalty while channeled. Next, we have Snipe. It deals 400% physical damage and applies Shaken to the enemy. If the enemy is bleeding, it becomes hemorrhage. It consumes 1 stack of bleeding and it becomes hemorrhaged. We have Hasting Snipe. Gain 20% increased attack speed for 5 seconds after casting Snipe. And we also have Heart-Seeking Snipe. Snipe has a 30% increased chance to critically hit against enemies that are hit beyond 20 meters. Bear Trap. It just spawns a big bear trap at a targeted location, which arms after 1 second. When an enemy triggers the trap, they take 50% physical damage and become rooted. Targets that hit are snared and become rooted for 3 seconds, and all snared stacks on the targets are consumed, increasing the rooted duration by 1 second per stack consumed. Next, we have Lightning Reload. Grants the charge of Lightning Reload, allowing you to fire 1 ability shot free, ignoring its cooldown and other costs. And the affected abilities are Snipe, Barrage, Headshot, Scatter Shot, Raining Death, and Thundering Shot. To the right, we have Thundering Shot. Fire a lightning-infused projectile to the targeted enemy, dealing 200% physical damage and applying 10 stacks of shock to the target. If the primary target is dazed, then the effect is consumed and becomes silenced. We can upgrade it further by Explosive Thundering Shot. The arrow transforms into an explosive shot that deals 25% more damage and also hits enemies in an area around the target, but the number of shock stacks applied to the target, plural, hit is reduced to 5. We have Vine Field. Summons a vine field at the targeted location. Targets in the area are hit for 125% physical damage and become rooted. Each target can only be hit once per instance. For each target hit by the initial tick that is bleeding, 1 stack is consumed and becomes hemorrhaging. To the left, we can upgrade it by ensnaring vine field. Enemies acquire 1 stack of snared per second while within the vine's area of effect. As a capstone ability, we have for multiple ones, but this one is Imbue Arrow Concussive. It is also a toggled ability. It imbues your ammunition with concussive force. Enemies hit by your basic attack finishers, barrage, and scatter shot have a 50% chance to become dazed. To the right, we have Party Stride. Applies Strider to all group members within 30 meters. Strider increases ground movement speed by 10% of the target. We have Mark of the Raven. Marks the target, triggering up to 33% physical damage every time the target is hit, scaling based on the target's missing HP percent. To To the left, we have Mark of the Bear. March the target, reducing their mitigation by 25%. A little bit more up, we have Raining Death. Fire 2 consecutive volleys of arrows in a wide area in front of you, dealing 100% physical damage, applying 1 stack of wounded to enemies with each hit. Deals 20% additional damage to shocked targets. To the right, we had a Party Stride, we have seen that, and we have Airstrike. Leaps a great distance forward into the air while firing 3 projectiles in a line along the path, each dealing 150% physical damage to the targets it hits. Targets that are hit are snared. Targets that are snared become rooted, and all snared stacks are lost, or rather consumed. And finally, we have Call of the Wild. Removes all snared, shield status affected from the caster and increases their movement speed by 20% while becoming immune to all movement impairing effects for 8 seconds. And its final upgrade is Call of the Wild breaks all disabling effects on the caster. Thank you very much for watching. This was a review of the what is it called? Of the Ranger and its abilities. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a comment or a like, optimally both, and see you in the next one. Bye.